Hello everyone, Andy here from Andy's Credit Corner. Thanks for tuning in. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the various credit cards that I've had during the course of my lifetime. I'll be giving the reasons why I got each one and the features of each one. So it'll just be basically a historical timeline of my credit card journey to this point. So I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. I created this channel not too long ago to talk about different credit cards and collecting points and miles and things of that nature. So I plan to put out some more content like this pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. So with that, let's get started with. So early in my adult life, I only used my debit card, so I did not have a credit card. When I was in college, for example, I would just use my debit card or pay cash for all of my transactions. It wasn't until after I graduated college when I first got my first credit card, and that was in conjunction with my mother, who had established credit because I had no credit at the time. So in December of 2009, we jointly applied at US Bank for the US Bank Flex Perks Cash Rewards credit card. That card has since been discontinued by US Bank, but that's the one I had for a while there. And we got approved again jointly for a limit of $12,000. And so I would use this card for a few transactions every month and then just pay it off every cycle, never carry a balance, never be late on the payments. And this allowed me to build my own credit for the first time. So this was a basic cashback card from US Bank back in the day. I don't remember the specifics of it very well. I don't remember if it had any kind of a sign-up bonus, especially since this was during the Great Recession. Banks were probably pretty stingy at that time when it comes to bonuses. I think I may have earned like 1% or maybe 2% cash back in some cases. So it was pretty much the basic cashback card that US Bank had at the time. So that's the one that we got. So over the course of the next year, I was building up my credit, and then I decided to, on my own, apply for a credit card in just my name only. And so I gave that a try in December of 2010, so 1 year later, for the same card, the US Bank Flex Perks Cash Rewards credit card. And I got approved for it. It did take a few days, maybe a week or so, for them to review it. But I got approved for a $2,000 credit line. Again, same card. I can't remember if there was a sign-up bonus, same features. So that's the card that I would use for the next several years. And we initially ended up closing that initial card, the one that I had jointly opened, which in hindsight may have been a mistake because of the fact that it erased some credit history. But it had gone for a little while, maybe a few years after that, without any kind of activity on it, not much activity. And so we eventually made the decision to shut it down. I still had my individual card that I had built credit on, so I still had a lot of credit history at that point. And so what happened a few years later was US Bank product changed the US Bank Flex Perks Cash Rewards credit card into the US Bank Cash Plus card, as it's now known. So basically they revamped that card and they rebranded the card, and it is now the current day Cash Plus card, which I still have. And so this card now gives you the opportunity to choose which categories that you get the most cash back in. So it allows you to choose 2 categories each quarter for you to get 5% in. You could choose between like a dozen different categories. And then there's also a 2% category that you could choose either gas, groceries, or restaurants in, and then you'd get 1% on all other purchases. And currently this card comes with a sign-up bonus of $200 after spending $1,000 in the first 120 days of owning this card. Again, back in the day, I don't know if it had a bonus, but today it does. So that's something to consider if you're thinking about applying for this card, as many credit cards often do these days. where they have a bonus. So anyways, back to my story. I pretty much was just using this one card for all of my transactions for many years. My credit limit eventually got increased up to maybe $3,000 or $4,000. Today it sits at $6,000, just because they've decided to increase my limit over the years. So my credit card journey for the next decade or so was pretty boring, I would say. It just had this one card. But then things changed years later. In 2021, I made the decision that I wanted to start doing some traveling. The pandemic had started to settle down, and I decided that I wanted to maybe go on a trip somewhere. And so I decided to plan a trip to Iceland, which I went to in 2022. So I booked it back in 2021, toward late 2021. What I did was I booked a group tour package in Iceland. So because of the large cost of it, they let you split your payments down. So I began making payments on my tour package. And then of course I wound up getting hit with foreign transactions fees because of the fact that the merchant was based outside of the US. The Cash Plus card gets, I believe, a 3% foreign transaction fee. So it dawned on me that I was thinking maybe I should get more of a travel focused card for the sake of this trip and maybe some trips in the future. So I decided to look around at the different travel card options that were there. And this is where I started to read up on all of the different travel blogs and the YouTube channels and all of that, learning all of this stuff about the travel credit cards on the market and all of that from these various different lenders. So in January of 2022, I decided to apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. So this was only my second individually owned credit card that I've ever had. And it came with a 60,000 point sign-up bonus for spending $4,000 in the first 3 months of ownership. And I knew that for me that was going to be an easy target to hit because of the fact that I was still making payments on my tour package. So I was able to pay the remainder of that trip and not get any foreign transaction fees anymore. So I enjoyed that. And just with my other normal spending that I did for the next couple of months, I was able to hit that spending threshold and get my bonus points. So I decided to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred because of the fact that it is arguably the best mid-tier travel card on the market. It comes with a $95 annual fee, but it comes with a lot of different benefits, a lot of different ways that you could use your points, some good ways to earn points. And this is where I also found out about the Chase Trifecta setup, which is where you get a couple of other cards to earn points with and feed into the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and I will get into more detail on that later in the video. I learned about this through all of these different YouTube channels out there and all of these blogs, as I mentioned earlier. And so then I decided I wanted to complete this Chase Trifecta and get some more points. And so I decided to eventually pursue that strategy after waiting a few months, of course, to not apply too quickly. But then there was an unexpected turn that my credit card journey took. And that was when I heard about this card called the Bilt Rewards MasterCard. It was a relatively new card on the market. It initially was by invitation only, but then in early 2022, it was opened up to the public for everybody to apply to. And the distinctive feature of this card is it allows you to pay your rent with waiving the transaction fee that landlords will often charge. And because of the fact that my apartment payment portal charged this fee, I was thinking, okay, I don't want to pay my rent with my credit card, even if it gets me points, because I don't want to be paying, $35 extra a month or whatever it was. But then I saw the Bilt card. I immediately told myself that I need to get this card. So a little while later, in May of 2022, I applied and got approved for the card for a $12,500 limit. And it was approved like within a couple of minutes from Wells Fargo, which is the bank that issues it. And so I got the card and I activated the card, and it came with a sign up bonus of being able to earn 10 times points for the first 5 days. So 10x points for non-rent purchases. So it's not as robust as some of the other sign up bonuses that you'll see out there, like from Chase or from these other issuers. And sign up bonuses on the Bilt card tend to vary between different people. So I started putting some purchases on that card, mostly my dining purchases, because of the fact that it does get triple points on dining, and it does require you to make 5 transactions per statement cycle in order to keep all of your Bilt points, to keep you using the card, so you don't just put your rent on it and then just forget about the card. So I have woven it into my credit card setup then and now. So a few months after that, I decided to keep pursuing my Chase Trifecta dreams. So in August of 2022, I got one of those offers on the Chase app, those pre-qualification offers, for a variety of different cards that they offer. So both the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited, for example, as well as a couple of their airline cards, I think. So I decided to get the Chase Freedom Flex and got approved for a $7,000 limit. And so I got my sign-up bonus a couple of months later, which is if you spend $500 in the first 3 months of card ownership, you get $200 or 20,000 Ultimate Rewards points. So the distinctive feature of this card is that it gives you 5% cash back on rotating quarterly categories, or in my case, 5 times Chase UR points, which can be transferred to the Sapphire Preferred card to be used for travel purposes. And also in my case, as part of the sign-up bonus that I got 5% cash back on gas purchases for the first 12 months of card ownership. So I've been taking advantage of that. That bonus will come to an end at some point next month, but it's been a good run with that. And this card will continue to have value off of those aforementioned quarterly categories as well. So then a few months later, I still had one more leg of the Chase Trifecta to get. That would have been the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And so in December of 2022, I went ahead and applied for that, and I got approved for a credit line of $13,800, so my largest credit line that I've ever had for any credit card. This had a similar sign-up bonus to the Freedom Flex, where you get $200 after spending $500 in the first 3 months of card ownership. And at the time, it came with a additional bonus of 5% on grocery purchases for the first 12 months of card ownership. So that is especially valuable to me because of the fact that a lot of my spending is on groceries. So I have really appreciated having that. So that's going to take me almost until the end of the year with that bonus. So now here I am in July of 2023. I have yet to actually apply for any credit cards in 2023, just kind of enjoying those aforementioned 5% bonuses on groceries and gas from the Freedom cards, and just kind of waiting and seeing, kind of thinking of what I'd like to do for my next move in the credit card game. I'm thinking I might go for another one of the other ecosystems, such as maybe the Capital One Venture X, or maybe the Citi Premier card. Maybe down the line I'll get a hotel card for one of these hotel chains. So I may make a decision fairly soon here. I may wait until next year. I'm not really sure yet. So stay tuned for more on that. So that pretty much wraps up my credit card history all the way up until today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. And so at the end of this video here, this is the part where I get to hound you to like and subscribe to this channel so you could get some more updates appearing on your YouTube screen. With that, I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.